everyone, it's Emma from MSC Makes, and this is a quick tutorial on how to crochet over your ends as you go. So this is something that I get asked a lot if you're working on a project that has multiple colours like this, or lots of separate pieces that you're joining together. I get asked how you can avoid sewing in all the ends at the end of your project, and the answer is to crochet over them as you go. And that's what I've done with this granny square here. I've crocheted over the yarn tails as I've added each new colour, and as you can see, it looks really nice and neat. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that now. So this isn't a tutorial on how to work a granny square. I'm assuming that you already know how to do that. If not, do check out my other tutorial which covers how to do that in more detail. And I've already worked my first round of my granny square here. So I'm ready to add the second colour, and we're going to crochet over this yarn tail as we go. Now, I always like to join my yarn in a different corner. I just find that this makes the square look a lot neater overall. And the way I like to join my yarn is by working a standing stitch, which means we don't tie on the yarn or knot it on or anything. We literally go ahead and work our first stitch. So I've just yarned over, and it can be a little bit fiddly, but you just need to grab that with your finger to stop it sliding off. And I'm going to pop my hook into that space, and I'm going to work my first stitch. And I like standing stitches because they just look a lot neater. Obviously the stitch is a full proper stitch, not chains, and if you look at it on the top, it makes it a lot easier to work into as well, because again, it's just a regular stitch. So I'm just going to go and work across this side now, and then I'll show you what to do once we get to the end where we've got that yarn tail. So now we're here, all you need to do is just take this middle finger of this hand and just gently grab the yarn tail and hold it neatly against your work. I'm going to yarn over and work my stitch as normal, and you just need to make sure that that yarn tail is tucked away nicely and that it goes on top of the hook. And I'll show you in a bit more when I get around this corner what I mean. So again, you want to pop your hook through, make sure you're grabbing this yarn tail. If you don't grab it, what will end up happening sometimes is that you'll work your stitch, but you won't have caught the yarn tail. Can you see it's dangling down here? So you need to make sure that that end of the yarn is always held tightly to your work, and that it's on top of the hook here, and particularly when you start working into the actual stitches. So again, I'm just holding it nice and tight there, pop my hook through the next stitch, and the yarn tail is here on top of the hook, and then just work the stitch as normal. And I'm going to do that all of the way around until that yarn tail becomes too small and fiddly for me to grab a hold of. And in the corner, we're just going to do exactly the same thing, just hold it nice and securely to our work, and just carry on going round. And it's definitely better to leave quite a long tail so that you can work over it for quite a lot of stitches. It just makes it much more secure. Okay, so I am coming to the end now, and yarn tail, I've still got quite a bit there, so I'm going to continue working over it. And don't forget, just keep checking. If you just pop over like that, you can see that it's all getting crocheted over. So that stitch there. And the next round's going to be a little bit different because we're going to have two tails to crochet over, so I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. But just to finish off this round, I'm still working over that yarn tail there. It's going to chain, and can you see how much easier it is when you get back to the end of the round to find that starting stitch and to join the yarn. So I'm just going to cut that and leave a nice yarn tail so I can crochet over that. And this is the one that we've crocheted over. So what I like to do is just give that a gentle tug, and can you see that it's folded up slightly? Take your scissors and just snip the end of that yarn tail off, and then when you pull the granny square back out, that should tuck under nicely. Okay, so that's our first colour done. For the next round I'm going to add this really lovely colour here, and again it's a little bit different because we've got 2 yarn tails to crochet over, but the process is exactly the same. So I'm going to work another standing stitch, pop your slip knot on your hook, and if anyone would like to see a full tutorial on how to work standing stitches, just let me know and I'll be sure to do that. And we're just going to work again in the next side along from where our yarn tails are, just to keep the granny square a bit neater overall. So I'm coming to the end of this side now, and just like before, we just want to grab the, well in this case we've got 2 yarn tails, grab it there securely while we finish off this side. I'm going to do my corner chains there, and then we're just going to repeat exactly as we did before. We just make sure we've got both of those yarn tails over our hook as we work each stitch, and that we're catching the yarn tails as we go. And especially with you having 2 yarn tails this time, it's definitely worth checking that little bit more regularly to make sure that you've got both of them and not just one of them. So keep turning, make sure we've got the yarn tails and that we're holding them nice and securely there. And just continue working our way around. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this side of the granny square, or this round of the granny square, sorry, and then I'll come back and show you what to do when you've finished. So I've just worked my way around the rest of that square now, and this is where I got to with the yarn tails here. So again, just give everything a little bit of a tug. If you give it a pull like this, so that it cinches in, and then grab your scissors and snip off the end quite close to the stitches. Then once you pull it out again like this, it gets nice and tucked behind, and it keeps it nice and neat. And if you do this, you'll find that the only ends you have to sew in are the 2 at the very end. So I hope you found that tutorial helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. I will be really grateful, and let me know if there's any other tutorials that you'd like to see in future. Take care everyone. Bye.